Good morning, folks. Merry stupid o'clock to one and all. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I am your host, Tiffany Daniels, and this morning, as always at stupid o'clock, we're going to that awful world known as the Judge Rotenberg Center. As you can tell from the screen, we're going to be going over a few statistics as well as the article included. But before we go ahead and do that, a few disclaimers. First off, you are going to find the link to the article we are about to go over in the description box, as well as other pertinent links to the Stop the Shocks campaign. I'm not going to go much into it, folks. Do the templates, sign the petition. That's all the time we're going to spend on that this morning. So, also, if you have young ones present, when we discuss the JRC, we do speak with vivid descriptions of, also show video clips of actual video surveillance, people with disabilities being tortured and abused. If you have young children present, please use your headphones. Now, it may be stupid o'clock. I might be more caffeinated than usual, but I still may mangle my words, so my apologies in advance. So, without further ado, the Judge Rotenberg Center, an environment of torture. So let's take a look-see. So, what is the JRC? The JRC in Canton, Massachusetts is legally considered a residential school and is licensed by the Massachusetts Department of Elementary and Secondary Education. Students with disabilities at the JRC are subjected to torture techniques, shock aversives, food and sleep deprivation, social isolation, restraint, and seclusion. By the numbers. 6 numbers of deaths due to JRC abuse and negligence, if not more. $52 million of revenue the JRC makes every year. Recently, that number has been updated to 73 million. 240 number of students at the JRC currently. That number may be a little bit different now. This was done about 2 years ago, folks. 80 number of students of JRC that are subjected to shocks. So, that flies in the face of what the JRC tells you. They'd say only 50 to 53. Bullshit, media. Do your homework. Oh, wait, that's right. You're lazy. You don't care about us neurodiverse people. I need only to look at the JD versus AH case to see that shit. But moving on. 5,000 number of shocks one student received in one day. 5,000, folks. 5,000 shocks. One student received in one day. McCollins was shocked 31 times. Now, it looks like they're upping the ante. Why am I not surprised? 2 years, some students are kept in almost constant restraint. Racial disproportionately at the JRC. Black, African American, 45.3%. Latin, 28.1%. White, 21.1%. Pacific Islander, 3.9%. Multiracial, 1.6%. So, by quite a large margin, most of the students that are at the JRC are Black, African American, and Latino. Tell me you don't see the racism there. Just saying. Okay, and of course they have the quote from Juani Mendez, Special Rapporteur on Torture. The rights of the students of the JRC subjected to Level 3 aversive interventions by means of electric shock and physical means of restraints have been violated under the UN Convention Against Torture and other international standards. The JRC uses two shock aversive devices on students: the Graduated Electronic Decalator GED, which delivers a shock of 15.5 milliamps, lasting up to 2 seconds, and the GED-4, which subjects students to stronger shocks of 45.5 milliamps. Oh my god. For reference, most stun belts deliver shocks of approximately 3.4 milliamps. So the GED 3A by itself, 15 milliamps. It's already more than twice. GED 4, yet you're seeing the picture here. The shocks often cause blistered and red spots. The JR students are shocked as punishment for involuntary body movements, waving hands, putting fingers in one's own ears, tensing up one's body. Seriously. Because that's what shocks do to people. It's involuntary. You never heard of involuntary muscle movement before? Not answering staff quickly enough. Screaming while being shocked. Closing eyes for more than 15 seconds. Reacting in fear to other students being shocked. Standing up. Asking to use the bathroom. Raising one's hand. Swearing. Saying no. Stopping work for more than 10 seconds, interrupting others, nagging, whispering, slouching, tearing up paper, attempting to remove shock electrodes, making 5 noises in an hour. My god, they really would have shot me. Just saying. Okay. We're not going into that because the other ones we've gone into before already. The Judge Rotenberg Center and Environment of Torture. What is the JRC? The JRC in Canton, Massachusetts. Oh, we've already basically gone over this. So where to go from here? In 2011, the JRC was banned from using physical aversives on new admissions to JRC. I'm wondering if that's already been overturned. However, many JRC students have been in the school for years and are still being subjected to physical aversives. The school is adamant to keep using the shock punishments on students. Currently, the JRC relies on an outdated court settlement from 1987 as a defense against regulation of its use of physical aversives. This court order was extended indefinitely and allows the JRC unchecked power to abuse JRC students. Overturning this court order would be a step in challenging the JRC. In 2014, an FDA advisory board recommended that the GED and GED-4 that the JRC uses be banned. The hearing included testimony from former students and disability rights advocates. This advisory panel does not have the authority to ban aversives, but the FDA could take its recommendation. Shut down the JRC. So this is rather short, sweet, and to the point. This gives you the numbers, folks. This gives you straight up facts and statistics. And in spite of these statistics and how very telling they are, yet still the DC Circuit Court overturned the ban and now making it federally and nationally legal to be able to use these devices on disabled people. And as we know with the JRC now, that's just simply the tip of the iceberg. There is no privacy even in bathing for any of their students. It is complete abuse of power. It's a complete removal of autonomy. It is so many things, it boggles the mind. But this just puts it in stark relief for you. This is just the actual numbers here. And if anybody wants to sit there and tell me there is not a racial component to this on how we treat people of color, people who are disabled, or people of color, if this should be very telling to you. It should be very, very telling indeed. Nearly half this grid is taken up by African Americans who have disabilities. Okay? Half that grid, nearly. That should tell you something. So I know it's a little shorter than usual this morning, but I do think these numbers speak for themselves. And I'm just going to leave it there. All right, folks, we don't get very many views on this channel, especially on this subject. The few that we do get do tend to get removed from time to time. So, folks, please don't forget to hit that like button, hit subscribe. Don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time this morning. And as always, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.